Howdy, everyone. Matt here. I got a question for you. What do you say when a patient comes in and they said, you know what, I tried blank and it didn't work? What do you do? Let's talk about it. All right, everyone. First and foremost, let me introduce myself. My name is Matt. I am Matt the PT, coming at you with another video, another topic, something from the physical therapy world. And this one, like I said, what do you say when that patient comes to you and says, you know what, I tried blank and it didn't work? And I wanted to talk about this because there was an interaction on a video that I saw online, kind of sparked this. And the individual in the video made a comment about the background of chiropractic, just where it came from and some of their business model. And there was all sorts of comments down below under it. And I made a comment and said, yes, I've seen providers who utilize just modalities to get people to come in over and over again, because the person had said, yeah, their business model is just to get people coming in. And as a PT, we don't want you to keep coming in, because honestly, that being said, it's like, no, that means you've recovered, that you don't have to keep coming back in. And I said, yes, I've seen providers who utilize things like that, modalities, feel good things to keep people coming back. Because, if we have all these things to help you feel good, why don't you want to come back and, have the feel good stuff over again? And it's like, are they really ever getting better? It's like, no, they're just coming in for the feel good thing. And somebody made a comment under there, goes, I get more people that come to me who said PT didn't work. And that really sparked this, because it really seems like we in the healthcare rehab profession like to throw that out as an insult. Chiros will say that to us. Oh, I get people all the time that said PT didn't work. Well, we as PTs can say the same thing. Oh yeah, people all the time says chiropractic didn't work. And surgeons can say, yeah, we get people all the time that said PT and chiropractic didn't work. And we can just say that about anything. And we just take it and we hold it to go, yes, see, it didn't work because it was just terrible. And that means that all of it didn't work. And like I said, it gets thrown out as this insult. But I really think for all of us as providers, we need to investigate that a little more. And it gives a chance to open the door with this patient and have a much deeper discussion about why it didn't work. Now, I'm going to say right off the bat, this is something that is very, very complex. You have multiple people in this. There's storylines in here. There's what one side says versus the other side. And, the truth is somewhere in there. And could we ever fully get the actual legitimate picture of everything? And we may not. But I really think that, like I said, opens a door to have a discussion with a patient, to understand the why behind that. Because is it really that the intervention that they went for, either PT, chiropractic, surgery, whatever that they did, massage, the healing crystals from the moon or whatever, why it did not work? And so of those things I said, is it because of that it's pseudoscience? There's all sorts of stuff online that someone's like, well, this thing didn't work. And it was like, well, yeah, because it's not like a legitimate thing, the people that sell those healing, the crystal, like I said, and it's, well, that thing didn't work at all. And it's like, well, yeah, because it's not real. It's in your mind. Your mind could have believed it was real. And the people that, said it benefited, it's like, maybe it was in their mind, maybe placebo, natural heat, what have you. But we really look into it to understand, was it actually what that provider did? And it's so interesting to see that whenever you talk to other therapists or whatever, everybody's the best. I'll say that, like, everybody is the best. I give the best treatment plans. I give the best interventions. I give the best discussions. I give the best to everybody. But there's always that other side of it as well that they talk to. Then everyone else is not as good as them. Is that just a kind of a wild, crazy thing that it's like there's so many people that if you talk to, I mean, heck, if you just go to any conference or something, everyone there will say the same thing, that they do the one-on-one, I give the best and I do the best. But then it's everyone else there's all these others that have substandard, that aren't as good, that are below that. They're all out there. But really, I think we need to, like I said, investigate, talk with the person. Now, why is it that you didn't get better? Was it the actual thing that the other provider did? Was it possibly the wrong intervention? Were they not doing the right thing? So like I said, with those modalities, was it someone that was just like, well, yeah, we can come in here, we can scrape you and stretch you, and we can throw you in this table and stretch you all out, and throw you in this, hot tub, and you just feel really good. It's like, okay, that's a fault of them. They weren't really doing anything. But I'll tell you what will work if you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. Back to the video. Or they were just like, we're just going to underdose you so much with exercise or movement. Like, oh, we're just not really going to push you. We're not going to do these things. We're not going to do that. And it's just, like I said, super, super low. It's like, oh yeah, maybe they weren't educating them enough. It could be any of those things. But could we also look back into that person? When that person, that patient, or whomever came in and said, well, so-and-so didn't work. And do we need to dig into that? Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm not patient blaming. I'm not doing any of that. But I really think, I've talked about this as well. How much accountability was on this person? Because, nobody wants to take blame on themselves. Nothing is anyone else's fault. If you ever talk with people on anything, it wasn't really my fault. And, that's a mark of people doing well as they hold themselves accountable, and that's what any kind of motivational speaker or whomever, they'll tell you. I started holding myself accountable, and that's when my world changed. When I said, this is going to do, that's when everything changed. And things are different when you do that. But how often do we not want to say that? It wasn't my fault that I was late for this, or it wasn't my fault that it was this fault. It was that fault, and it could be all sorts of things. So again, looking at the patient, was it was this person not going regularly? Think about that. It's a super low percentage of people doing that. I'll tell you a big thing I see with people, they don't like to progress themselves. So where really was it that? Were you not really wanting to push yourself enough? Were you not, saying, we got to get off of this red band. I know you like this thing, but, we got to actually lift some weights. And I'll tell you, in therapy, people like to, I'll just say it. People like to underdose themselves in therapy. You try to push them, and I even know trainers who do this. People just don't want to push themselves hard very often. And am I saying that for every one of them? No. Is it some of them? Yes. Is it a certain percentage? Probably yes, but I can't tell you the number. I don't know what the number is. But it's like, how much were you doing that? How much were you doing at home? That's the big joke that we have in therapy about, doing the home exercises, and people come, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I just, I gave you those exercises. I know you didn't do them. Oh, you know me too well. I didn't do it. It's like, okay, you didn't do those things. And again, it's like, it didn't work because you didn't put the work in on it. And so we really can't say this didn't work or that didn't work because it wasn't done correct. It wasn't fully utilized. Now, granted, that can also go back to the therapist or whomever as well, to say you didn't fully explain that to them. Hey, you really need to do this. You need to talk with them. You need to do, you gotta put this work in. I'm going to be honest. If you're not going to do the stuff, you're not going to get the results. I'm not lying to you. I'm not being untruthful, but you have to do this if you want to you have to accept it. And again, people may not want to tell the whole story on it. And I do think and of course, the person, they're never going to, you're never going to get a hold of the other one to say like, oh yeah, they did this or they did. Anyway. But like I said, when we throw it, I think we need to get rid of throwing out that insult, because there's so much nuance to it. There's so much that goes into it that we may never know the whole story. And anytime I've started doing that, someone says, well, this didn't work. Well, let's dig into that. Let's start pressing and let's start pulling out information and find out the why about it, and not automatically just going, oh, see, that confirms my bias about this thing. No. Anyway, I've rambled enough about this. Let me know, what do you think about it down in the comments below. Do you talk with people? What do you start talking with them about? Have you found out anything when you actually start digging in? Let me know down in the comments. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up button, and please subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you a copay or anything like that. And until next time, take care of yourself. Take care of your patients. I'll see you then.